They're rich, famous, and beautiful. So why is it so hard for the children of privilege to find happiness?
The idea that money buys happiness is a real fallacy. Too much privilege or too much latitude can get you into trouble or can be destructive.
The recent death of wild child Casey Johnson is making headlines around the world. The daughter of Jets owner Woody Johnson and heiress to the Johnson & Johnson fortune had a history of drug abuse and threats of suicide.
Casey Johnson became a staple on the red carpet. You saw her out a lot. You saw her at the right clubs. You saw her in the right scene. It didn't seem, at least to us, that she had a direction in terms of a career path.
Casey is part of a long list of children of the rich and famous who have been tabloid fodder for partying, sex tapes, estrangement, and even drug addiction and crime. Aaron Spelling's daughter, Tori Spelling, and even President Reagan's daughter, Patty Davis, were estranged from their families for years. Martin Sheen's son, Charlie Sheen, recently got arrested for pulling a knife on his wife during the holidays, but he has a history of violence and substance abuse. 24 star Kiefer Sutherland, son of actor Donald Sutherland, got arrested in New York last year for headbutting someone at a bar. Actor Robert Downey Jr., son of filmmaker Robert Downey Sr., went to jail as a result of his drug problems. Nat King Cole's famous daughter, Natalie Cole, wrote a book about her drug addiction.
I'm still thinking of watching myself breaking into mailboxes, getting welfare checks out so we could go get drugs, more drugs.
Mackenzie Phillips is currently attempting sobriety on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
I started using when I was 11 or 12, and things went crazy over time. And my dad shot me up with coke when I was 17.
Marlon Brando's son, Christian, went to prison for killing his sister's boyfriend. And years later, Brando's daughter, Cheyenne, committed suicide. Michael Douglas's son, Cameron, who was in a movie with his father and grandfather, Kirk Douglas, was arrested last year for selling crystal meth.
If you can claim something, you have power over it. It doesn't control you, So you don't have a secret.
Actress Carrie Fisher, daughter of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, did a one-woman show on Broadway about her struggles with sobriety and growing up in Hollywood.
New York, New York.
And even Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, who has been a frequent guest on the morning news, has battled demons for years.
You all right there, Dad?
Thank you, honey.
Alexa Ray Joel, who has seen the public problems of her parents, Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley, tried to kill herself, saying she was terribly lonely.
Singing with him relaxes me. I don't think of him all the time as Billy Joel. I just think of him as my dad.
New York Presbyterian Hospital psychiatrist Dr. Catherine Berndorf says the common link could be a lack of basic TLC from their famous parents.
Sometimes parents who can't offer their children love and time and affection and other things offer them money, and that functions as a substitute even though it really isn't.
That could be why many are turning to spirituality to find their way.
When I'm getting whatever I want, without really making an effort, I will not have ability to really appreciate it. And without knowing why, I will feel empty and disconnected.
Eitan Yardeni is the senior teacher at the Kabbalah Center in New York. He says when parents do not teach their children to earn money and find an identity of their own, they're inadvertently hurting their children on a deeper soul level.
Actually, I will have also resentment towards the people who even give it to me, because subconsciously, my soul knows it's not healthy for me.
Which could be why many famous offspring have successfully carved their own paths and have stayed out of the headlines, like Ralph Lauren's daughter Dylan, who owns Dylan's Candy Shop, Gwyneth Paltrow, Mayor Bloomberg's daughters, Hearst heiress Lydia Hearst, who is a model and businesswoman.
I think it's really important to have a strong work ethic. And,
absolutely.
Despite your background, no matter who you are, where you come from, it helps build character.
And even Ivanka Trump, who went to an Ivy League school, has written books and recently joined her dad on The Apprentice.
He wanted to make sure that I was actually passionate about real estate, that I wasn't taking the job because I thought it was
Donald Trump's
my
daughter.
obligation to do so.
Yardeni says it's not too late for parents to change their tune and teach their children to find inner happiness.
The equation that effort begets fulfillment is so essential to share it with kids in a young age.